In this segment, we want to take a look at the Nigerian electoral process, whereby the judiciary seems to be the only body that gives the results where everyone will accept, despite the fact that the election umpire, that is INEC, will come out and give certain results. Some will be like, no, we don't agree to this, let's go to court. The question now is, why the court thing? Why can't Nigerians, why can't politicians, why can't electorate just accept the ruling of the umpire of the game? Or the election, rather. Yeah. What do you feel about this? Higato Samuel will throw more light on this. He's going to share his own thoughts and opinions on this particular discussion. Of course, if time permits, we'll delve into the security situation of the country, the Dogo Gaide issue in Niger State. Before that, let's focus on Nigeria's electoral process. Question of judiciary declaring winners of election. What do you feel about this trend? Take a look at the last election. We have plethora of cases from the presidency to the House of Rep. Even sometimes the governorship election, you get to see people contesting these results in courts. How did we get here?
Listen, the Nigerian political system have been based on three situations. We'll call it the three situations to have a real result. First is the pre-election, which have with the individual parties choosing their candidates, selecting their representatives to contest for a position. You find out that the system of selectiveness is still in part of most of the political party, irrespective of which of the party. It is not yet an elective situation in a clear sense, though democracy is supposed to make it an elective situation. You find out that three good people contesting. Last, the leaders will say this is who should go. You understand? That is selective mindset. We need to leave that selective mindset because there is already grudges in the party set on ground that has already started giving the parties problem. That is one. Then the election himself is another issue. Now, when all these selective are there now to contest against each other, we have a problem that our democratic electoral process is not yet that matured that the people can have 100% trust on it. Because, listen, it is something that if you are somebody in the field in the election day and you see things happening in your eyes, people tampering multiple times ballot papers, people paying people to get the votes, people threatening people not to be able to vote. So definitely, from such process in an electoral procedure, there is bound to be doubt in the result coming out. This is bound. Because I probably, as an agent, I will go back to my heads, my leaders, to give a report that this is what happened at this unit, this is what happened at this unit. There were a lot of malpractice or irregularities, or there were violent actions. That report, the leader were going to compile them all together. And these are reasons to go to court by the Constitution, by the Electoral Act. So, definitely when any result is called, the first mindset of every man, how was the election took place? If it was free and fair, which we are still hoping to have in Nigeria, which we are still praying to have, you will see that the loser will congratulate the winner.
Are you not saying that the elections in our country is not free, fair, credible?
Listen, the democratic system of Nigeria is still growing. We've not got it 100%. We still have some politicians who still believe that even the credible election will affect them politically, you will not understand, we say. What motivates a politician to ring an election? It's either he's not popular, or he's greedy, or want to play the emperor, the godfather. These are the reasons you want to ring an election. Because if you are popular, if you are well known, if you have dignities, and you have antecedent that your people knows already that this man is good, you don't need to ring an election. The generality, because it starts from that pre-electional, that internal democracy. Because when you are choosing, and everybody said, Mr. Paul is a good man. He's known in this community. He's known in this world. He's known in this local government. That with his antecedent, he can make a difference for us. And you really elected him to go and represent you. Listen, the election will be free and fair because everybody will use one mind to vote for the person. But in a situation, the majority of the people says, this is who we like. But a few at the back will say, no, this is who we are going to put there. You suppress the will of the people already. That election can never be free and fair because you will want to do everything possible to suppress the will of those majority that said this is the other person they want. So it starts from there. That's selecting of candidates. If, for example, let me just take 3 parties now that are at the moment on board, or 4 parties on board: the APC, the PDP, the Labour, the NMPP. Take them, they are oil in Edo State now, listen. The APC man that is going to be chosen to represent probably Edo State as a governor is somebody that the majority of the APC, which are constituency issues, the Edo North, the Edo Central, the Edo South, will agree that this man is the right man. The PDP also go to their drawing board and bring somebody that the generality of the PDPs are saying, yeah, this is the right man. And that is the people also by the Edo North, by the Edo South. Are you getting the point now?
Yeah.
Labour those saying, if we have not bring them out, these same sons are sons of those different constituencies. When they go to an election, it is going to be who is better, who do we now best trust. It is not going to be which party do we vote. Which of our best sons now is among these 4. And really, and the people go with their mind to vote who they believe is their first son. Whether it's not PDP, whether it's not APC, or whether it's not Labour, you will see that the whole of Edo State will rise in joy. Will rise in joy. We saw the situation in Rivers State. The River election is an election we should take as an exemplary election, even though the APC candidate in Rivers at the initial stage was complaining of some whatever he claims, but the majority of Rivers stood with Obara. They came out dancing. They came out in the street. So that even you, that the opposition, that believe you were cheated out, you'll be forced to give it up. You'll be forced to want to work with that government if you really want the goodness of the people, not fighting the government, not fighting the government with litigations and all the situations we pass through later on that are distraction to the governance that the person is supposed to have done. Because in the process of these litigations, we end up with a lot of distractions are there to governance. A lot of reduction of impactation of governance to the people also takes place. A lot of finance that are supposed to be used for the infrastructure development of the people will be spent for lawyers, for SANS, for underground homeworks they usually do. And all those finances should have been to the benefit of our people. So we should learn from the beginning to choose the right person. We should avoid the mindset of, because I have the power, I can do it. Because this, I have the power, I can do it. Now the Nigerians are enlightened. The Nigerians are no more, you do them, okay, we don't rest. Now so that they do them. No, Nigeria are enlightened now. They come up to speak the truth to power. They come up to speak the truth to judiciary. They come up to speak the truth to the legislative arms. To tell, this is what we want. This is what should be done.
Okay. Some of the opinions that the reason why we're having this issue, because you made a very strong point about the foundation, talking about it not being free, fair, and you will get it because we are still growing. It's a nascent democracy according to so many other persons. Some are saying that the politicians, which you are one of them, are to be blamed for this trooping down to court for them to declare winners of election. Do you agree to that school of thought?
I will tell you one thing. People say politicians. If a politician does not employ a lawyer, can the politician go to court on his own?
A good question.
The situation is like this. If I'm affected, I go for a contest, and the result is being called, and I have a report from the electoral ground, from agencies and units, that this is what happened. I have to value 70% of that issue. Was it 70% fraudulent? Or was it 30% fraudulent? If I value it, it's only 30% or 20% fraudulent, and 70% to 80% is good. Normally, that case is supposed not even to be challenged. The next thing you have to do is to congratulate the winner. But in a situation, you assumed it was 70% fraudulent. Yes. As a politician, I would like to go to court.
As a politician?
Yes. Then the next thing I do, I call a lawyer. When the lawyer now advise me on the report I have, that, sir, we are having no headway in this because the constitutions and the electoral act might strike this and this and this and this out for me. The politician will not go to court because he knows he's going to waste his funds at the court proceedings and to the end. But where there is a problem, no lawyer will always tell you they don't have a way.
Because I'm
always tell you there are technical way we can handle it.
This case, yes.
Technical way we can push this case and you will get it, even though you are number 3 or number 4.
Just because of the money?
Because they know the finance that is going to come out of that procedure now. They are going to be either buying cars to cars or building more houses to houses. They will encourage you as a politician to invest your money on it. They will always tell you there's a way. Even when sometimes the technicality have even been proven by tribunal, the first instance tribunal, the lawyer will still tell you in appeal there is only a technical way we can still pass it, that you can still come up. And the politician want to be there because that's why he contested. He believed in victory.
Are you not blaming the lawyers for this?
No, I'm not blaming the lawyers. I'm only telling you they are contributor to why many cases go to court. They contribute highly enough. And it's definitely it's based on their interest because they went to study law to make money. So in whichever way they can do it, they will do it. If a lawyer can tell a murderer that he has an opportunity to still be freed in court when you know he really killed this man, you still collect money from his family to still give the family hope. You understand? That the murderer is going to come out. No matter how it will only take, maybe they'll keep him 5 years, they'll keep him, but he will come, he will make sure he come. Oh my God. And the family will be spending money. Instead of just telling the family, plead guilty. Let us see a way we can reduce the sentence, not to prolong the case. And just take what you can have and let the poor man go and rest in his gudgeon and be feeding himself till the day the judgment comes. They will still be sucking the family, still giving hope to the family that this man is a murderer.
Okay.
So it is the same symptomatic mindset they use for the politicians.
Are you not saying that politicians are just so gullible in this aspect?
Many are gullible.
Wow.
The reason they're gullible, the report they had before the election mostly gives you a full confidence of victory. The social media reports, the opinion reports might tell you, Wilson and Marshall, you are going to win this election. You already
despite INEC's announcement of the result.
Well, the report people will tell you that you are already 50%, 57% leading. You are 67% leading. Undermining that the report given, or those statistics given are by maybe 100 people are gathered. You use
just that projections,
and then you use it to think of 200 million Nigerians and opinions. You seek maybe an opinion from the north. You use it to judge the south. You seek opinion from the south. Use it to judge the west. No, these are opinions that deceive politicians, that give a lot of politicians on certain negative hopes that are not there. We saw it in this last election. Let's go to this last election and use it as an example, Wilson. Why it ended up in the court? Because this is something that just happened, Before the election, we saw the wave in Nigeria. We saw in the north, the Kwakwaso movement, how it was waving, the red cap was everywhere in the north, as if whether you like it or not, the NNPP is going to clear the whole of the northern states. We saw the wave of the obedient in the social media, in the south, in the southeast. We saw how it was on. All these waves. You that is contesting, you believe I have the power, I will win. Then we saw the wave in the southwest and some northern states about the APC candidate. So now, they now have to go home and do their mathematical calculation and add this up together and believe I can win this election. And with the projectory given, I can win it. Now, the election took place. Whether people like it or not, there were irregularities. There's no man that can take that away. Whether people like it or not, there were malpractices. Whether people like it or not, there were electoral violence. Whether people like it or not, there were electoral intimidations in some certain parts of the countries. So all these things put together does not mean the electorate that came out en masse in their individual constituency to vote their individual candidate did not cast their vote for their candidates. Why there are some certain areas, I want to tell you, like in the south, we have a problem, southeast. In the north, when the election is taking place, they see it like a festival. They see it like a duty of call. You see early morning already, they have already taken their bath. Those that want to take their bath, they have gathered themselves already in front of the house. They are already eating, waiting to the allergy to come with boss or the one that will come and carry them to lead them to go and vote. It's a call to duty in the north. They don't see it like the way we see. And when they are going there, they already know who
carried out that choice.
They already know who they want to vote for. Because as I am going with my family and my allergies and my alimajeries and all that I have registered, they are all going to give it to me. No sentiment. It's a choice. Now, in the south and in the southeast, in the social media, we are very good. During campaign, to campaign around the city, we are very good. Listen, when we do campaign, you see the population of your members that comes out for campaigns because of, let's leave the money that comes out, because at the end of the day, small thing will be shared, but to take follow up, or will be packing out. On election day, in the southeast, you don't get up to 30% of your members to come and vote on that day.
Okay, are you not saying that politicians use projections to go to court without knowing what is on the ground?
Because like Mr. Obi that went to court,
yes,
believed in the trajectory. He believed in those statistics that was shown before the election that he was leading. He believed in the social media voices that he was leading. And who were publicizing those social media, who were doing those campaigns, we are with the South and the Southeast, and the diasporas that we don't even have voters cards. They were the one leading. They were the one doing those trajectory. Some from UK, this from US. They were all giving us different country trajectory. He was leading. So now he went to election. The Northern teach him a lesson. The Southwest State teach him a lesson and tell him, no, it's not on social media you win an election. You win an election on ground. These people came out and mass to vote their candidate. Why your people? Where people threatening not to even leave the house. So how do you now get the majority of the vote to supersede the people that pack with their families, that pack with their concubines, that came to vote a particular candidate? Where your people sit at home, some drinking a tiri or hero beer.
I would want us to go into names of brands of beer right now.
I'm not doing advertisement for any beer.
Yes.
They sit at home drinking beer instead of going to the polling unit to cast the vote for Mr. Obi. Some on that day, electoral day, some were still making noise on Facebook, on WhatsApp group, at the time they are supposed to be in the field voting for Obi that you claim you believe in. So he has that belief because of what the pre-electional promulgations, the pre-electional predictions, and all those things that he going to win. So he not believe that something has done something wrong, that he has been cheated, he has been manipulated in one way or the other. Let me go and find that in the court. If that's really happened, then you now go to the court. Mr. Wilson, going to court, you are supposed to take evidences without reasonable doubt. You are supposed to take witnesses without reasonable doubt, without incorruptible characters, to be able to prove your case in the court. And you go to the court, you wrote a lot of essays by your sons without providing a singular evidence.
Well, you can also without providing a singular evidences were tendered before the court.
Listen, you cannot say evidences was tendered before the court when the court make a judgment, that tells you that there was not singular evidence tendered to prove that this unit, out of 1,300 over 300 units, that this particular unit there was a manipulation or a malpracticing.
All right.
That was the court judgment also. They explain how they came to their judgment. Then when you now talk of, you now decide to go to preliminary pre-electional issues. Before, are we not ashamed that, is it after the judgment now that our excellency Atiku Abubakar is now coming with a transcript from Chicago University? Listen to me. These are things he's supposed to have done. Listen to me, Wilson. These are things he's supposed to have done. Listen, let me finish. Let me drop down. Let me drop down, please.
Okay, these are pre-election matters.
These are matters supposed to have got those transcripts before they even go to court. That the lawyer could have even advised him, don't even spend your money on these issues. Concentrate on this issue.
Okay.
Maybe they would have gone to court with maybe only two major things. They would have had the opportunity to even collect better evidences to prove their cases. Because they were divided in different cases. of assumptions.
All right, now
They don't know able to
it's
prove
like
one.
it's like on one hand you are heaping blame on the legal practitioners for convincing their politician friends to go to court because
Yes.
of trajectories and projections
Yeah.
of what they expect to come out of the election. And right now you're saying also politicians, they have a role to play in all these go to court issue.
Definitely.
Why is it so?
Where the politicians have to play a role now,
Yes.
to play a politics of discipline, a politics of integrity. If I don't have it now, I will have it tomorrow. Because if you are good, listen, if you are good, you contest now, maybe you couldn't get it, and you keep doing the good thing you do, and the people keep saying, and have opportunity now to see that you that is not there, still remain the integrity man you are, still remain the good fellow man you are, still remain a man that carries everybody along. And he that was put there, people will start studying him too. By the next 4 years election, or the next 3 years, they have evaluation. I tell you, if you remain who you are, they're going to kick that man out and make sure you go in there against all odds, either of the leaders, against all odds of suppressions, against all odds of selectivity. The people will fight. Because now the people are getting awakened. So it is not the politician playing the politics to assume that same awakening with the people. To learn to be, if you lose in an election, does not mean you are a loser. Election is a win-win. Why is a win-win? In the procedure of the electoral process, there are people you don't even know in your lives. You come across them. You touch his life in those villages you go. You got to know their problems. There is something you learn from it. Even though you lost the election. But there are things you learn from it. That procedure of campaigning. So it's a win-win thing. It is when you see an election that is clearly malpractice, that is obvious to the blind man, then, listen, as a politician, I will go to court. Whether my lawyer advised me not to go or not, I will go.
You go to court.
That is a different issue. All I will need to do is give all evidences that will make me to prove this cause that this electoral process was obviously a malpractice full of irregularities and all sort of on 70 to 80% basic.
But must our elections be filled or marred by irregularities that give rise to what's going to court?
I think there seems some greedy politicians that are making it to happen. Listen, I won't take it from you. There are still a lot of greedy politicians. They believe it's either them or nobody. And when you try to make them understand that it is a contest of electoral process, if you are loved, you will be voted for. If you are not loved, you will not be voted for. They will want to tell you you want to stop their career. You want to stop their progress. They will see you as enemy of progress. So how do you fight enemy of progress? You fight them with every means you have. That is why you still see these irregularities. You still see this violence. Let me go to this last election, if you want, if I can divert. When you ask if we can stop electoral violence in our election, I think grassroots election supposed to be the most peaceful, most people close-oriented election in all states of Nigerians, because it deals with the grassroots. It deals with the people. These are people that are going to be close to the people. This is an election, normally you don't force people on people will, because you have to allow the will of the people, who they want to rule over them. But in a situation, an executive arm of government, I will not say it's only Edo State or Wisdom. We have witnessing in other states, executive arm of government that's supposed to conduct a very peaceful and fair election, mold that elections with power, with finance, with intimidation, to make sure that the ruling executive power retain the power of the local government and the councils. They don't care on the interest, they don't care about the interest of the people. They don't care the interest of the other political party. All they want, it must be done this way, and they must be there. It has become a system, but it is a bad system.
And it cuts across the country.
Across the country. It is a bad system. If you compare with those states now, that just happened recently, you know what many people will tell you? Those things did not happen in Ondo State, did not happen in River State, did not happen in Kogi. You understand me? They make it as a precedent. You are using something that is bad. That you know this thing was wrong, that was done in that other state. And you did same now. And you are using it as a precedent. What you know is bad that was done there. Instead of us to pray that our electoral process should go above those precedents we are using to defend ourselves and give our people a free, fair election. Before this local government election that happened in Edo State, I want to tell you one thing. Listen. APC, Labour Party, ADC, majority of the PDPs too, believe that this election is going to be very free and fair. They were very, very sure, because the way the governor took it, understand, he did not allow himself to be criticized. And the professor he brought was a man of integrity. So everybody believed, wow, maybe for the first time, the state is going to conduct an election that will bomb the mind of Nigerians.
All right. Anyway,
those states.
Anyway,
we saw what we saw.
The election has come and gone.
And now,
declared.
The issue that brought us here now.
Yes.
To tell you where greedy the politicians are now. The reason I gave this example.
Yeah.
I want to tell you wisdom. Why I brought this example. I don't just speak to speak. Normally now, the election have come and gone. What is the Edo State government supposed to have done? Or the Edo State Judiciary supposed to have done? Is it not creating a local government tribunal? They are supposed to create a local government tribunal. The Constitution permits it. But what do they do? It has never happened in any state. It is the judiciary responsibility to call for it.
Are you not saying
that the election that is over, there are a lot of people that are aggrieved. There are people unsatisfied. Where do you expect them to take their grievances to? Okay. Where do you expect them to take their complaints to?
All right. Now, are you now saying?
And the only place they can take it to is the court.
Are you now saying?
And when there's no tribunal created for a local government issues, and the High Court cannot ascertain the.
Are you now saying that our political system cannot function without the judiciary standing toe to toe with it?
For now, listen. For now, the stage we have gotten in our democratical system, we can't do it at the judiciary for now, because everybody believes judiciary is the home of the common man and the hope of the common man. As long as that belief still remains there in any one of us, wherever we want to cry out, it's a place we have to cry to. We still need them. Irrespective of the high finance involved, we still need them. But I believe when a lot of things are getting better, there are stages we will go to technologically on electoral processes. There are places you will be seeing something you cannot deny it is not what it is. where maybe, for example, in my unit, there will be a tablet, just like in Europe. There's a tablet, a general tablet. As people are voting, going into the boxes, because like in Germany, they put the boxes, like 5 or 6, 7 boxes, you know. When they fix these boxes, you take your paper, you go into the boxes. The moment you're voting, you see if APC is red on the tablet, and PDP is blue, the one is black. The people are seeing it, as the people are voting. You see the APC one will be going up if it's gaining more.
As it's counting.
Yeah, as it's counting. You'll be seeing it going up. The red will be going up. If it's the red, the PDP that is leading, you see the PDP will be going up, and everybody is saying it. So such a result. So such a result. You don't need to go to court. This is something you saw. We were voting, and everybody was voting, and it is clear eye. The next thing you do after going, because as it is increasing in your unit, it's increasing in the different ward coalition centers.
And everyone is paying witness to it.
And down to the central, which is the INEC portal. And you see the development there in the INEC portal, how it is developing. You see the adjustications. Then, at the end of the day, INEC will not only need to tell you it is 1 million votes that voted for APC, 800, because the figures are not there in the tablets. But you see the adjudication, the adjustment, how the people are voting, that this is leading definitely. So now it's just for them to give you the result. And then, who saw that he got second cannot go to court. Cannot go to court. All you need to do is congratulate the next person and pray to work with him in his government.
Because I will declare it, see everything.
That is why you see like in Germany, kind of like Germany, in the parliaments or the executive arm of government, you will see Green Party minister. You see Red Party minister. You see Black Party, because Black Party is CDU, while the Red Party is SPD also. SPD. Why the Green Party is green on their own, you know. Then you have the other one, which is the Yellow Party. So you have them in the governance. They will not come and say, okay, you have 25%, you won with 25%, you got 25% in the electoral process. You got 30%, you got 5%. Okay, because of that, you bring one person. You that got 15%. You that got 30%, you bring 2% into the government. They pick people
from each of the
party. Then, because you that won the election, you have the majority already. But they still pick to work with the government.
So from what you're saying right now, until we are technologically inclined in our election, we still need the courts.
We still need the courts.
Wow.
Because it goes to be still the last hope to speak the truth to the people, that the people will believe.
Well, you heard him. He just nailed it at the end, because no matter what humans do, there must be mistakes. People must surely complain. But the last example he just gave, talking about Germany, as they are voting, you're seeing it electronically. Everything is being transmitted. You're seeing the way a party is faring. Nobody can argue with that opinion.
You are told me on TV. You've seen it on TV. So you that are home,
because for each vote, you get to see it being computed.
Computed, yes. And then you are told sitting in your parlor, you said that. So tell you be, because this is your party, it's going there. You fever with it. You feel the winning, you feel the losing. That you don't even need to complain.
So how long do you think to take for Nigeria to get to that part of Germany being able, even the US also do the same thing, also being able to transmit results as you are voting? They are seeing it, they are calculating it. If one person votes for APC or PDP or Labour Party or NNPP, SDP, just name it, or Zenith Labour Party, everything will just be there. You'll be seeing that it's projecting.
We're already going towards there, we say. We're already going towards it. If you look at how we started, let's look at ways back, how we started, you know. And from there we go to the card readers. From the card readers, we are now in beavers, and the beaver is still being modernized. It's still worked on. From the beaver, we might get to the state we're going, because if you look at the cooperation with Nigeria is trying to have with the UAE too, technological firm, because the UA are very good this period with technology and all those things. I think when they were discussing in one of the conference meeting they had also together, Nigerian associations and the UA associations, you see there was a man that spoke a lot of things about this electoral process.
Yes.
He spoke about bringing technology, even bringing as far as drones, because there are some certain volatile areas where probably this technology might not work because the network in those environments are still very volatile, are still very weak. You understand? But he spoke about bringing, there are all these satellite that can be fixed on drone. On that day, the satellite will be sent to different communities without, it will be marked by INEC already that these areas have weak networks. Because that's why they do before election, do some test runs and all those things. All those things should be done before the elections. Test this technology. So that those staying in a rural area will not be cut off from the technology. Because then, the greedy politicians, we might have the best technology in the urban area.
Now you say that politicians are greedy. That's what about greedy.
I always say it, all along, there are greedy ones, there are humble ones. You know, like me, I'll call myself one of the humble ones.
You can't talk for yourself.
I speak for myself.
Speak for yourself.
I speak for myself because since I started playing politics, I've never played a political prostitution. I've never moved from one party to the other party. I've been in one party. Whether we win or we lose, I congratulate sometimes those that lose, that win on the other party. Like this last election, in whichever way my brother won the election, I congratulated him. Because it was the way.
So you say it right now. You say it right now.
So
technology is the answer.
Is the answer to our election that will give us a credible, free, fair election.
Yeah, sure.
And to be able to make it a perfect one too, we must consider the rural area. How do we carry the rural area along? Because we have them a lot in Nigeria. There are places without mass. Sometimes when I go down the rivers, you don't get no network anymore. Your phone is blank up. If you are in a problem in such areas, you need help, you are gone. But like in Germany, for example, if you go as far as to the rural area, if your phone is not, the network is out, you can still dial 119. And you still get to police, you still get to a Red Cross rescue team.
Just by a code.
By a code.
Network or no network.
Network or no network. Just dial that 119. You get to, the police will pick, the Red Cross ambulance will pick. It is not for you to tell you it's the police interest. You have a rescue you need, or the 911, the Red Cross. I mean, for a few minutes they are there with you because that 911 you called, they will locate exactly with GPRS where you did that 911 call. All these are technologies. So now you say we want to do technological election, an electronic election. In the urban area, we have good networks. We can get them. We can be seeing the one in the rural area also counting like in Germany as it's going. What of the rural area? Some greedy ones, I will tell you, will still want to go and ring the one from the rural area because they know that one is going to be counted and added to this red button that is going and black button going out. That automatically once the red button that was up before, when they just bring the rural one area to just go down, go there, you know, we'll film. Listen. Then we need to carry them along. So that's why I love that interconference with the UAE and the...
But the thing is that right now in Nigeria, talking about technology, Nigerians have been disappointed because over 300 and something billion was given to INEC to go into the election, haven't been technologically equipped. And look at what we saw.
Listen, that is why I told you. It is what I just explained now last. You are just bringing me back to.
Yes.
You gave INEC money to do something. Yes. INEC really did what you asked him to do. But INEC knew that there are going to be problems, technical problems, because of transmission. They knew all forehands. That is why they told you it is going to be manually. Because, first and foremost, INEC would have been able to transmit probably the urban areas to the portal. Listen. What of those in the rural areas? that their beavers did not work, that there were no network, that had to rebound back to normal thumb printing, the manual way. So could not upload the result at that particular unit. I was in some unit, they could not upload it. It did not work. So we have to now snap it. Every agent have to snap theirs. So know that, so that they're going to go and change it at the back. But we know, Nigerians, for who we are, that man is not perfect. And man have a greedy mind. The moment they leave that village now, and what INEC have transmitted, and people believe already probably the rural urban alone have to decide the election, but that is what they are saying on transmission. And then INEC will not bring the rural areas and add it to it and still declare that this person won. They will say INEC cheated. The whole transmission they have been transmitting since, it has shown that probably it was Atiku or it was Obi that was leading. Why they just brought another result and the result now become Tinubu? It could have still happened because the technology, beavers need network.
To see others being shipped in also.
So you cannot blame INEC on that aspect because the Nigerian state technologically cannot even carry what INEC wanted to do. The only place where it is good is the beavers. It tells you this is really how many, anything that goes into the beavers, it shows that these people that are really people that voted in this environment. But in the coalition, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen. That's where exchanges comes in. That's where intimidation comes in. That's where the electoral violence comes in. Sometimes people come, they steal the ballot box away. They shoot, they carry the ballot box away, and they go and add their own into it and bring it back again to be counted.
All right. So what you just said now, to take something away from what you said, we just cannot do without judiciary right now because of some greedy politicians, not the umpires right now.
Greedy politicians and some greedy lawyers.
Judiciary.
Yes, some greedy lawyers.
And tech is the answer.
Yeah, because they know if they don't convince you to go, they will not make their money. You know how many billions involved?
Some lawyers may pick offense what you just said.
No, it's not pick offense. It's where they eat. Not where man they work, now they shop, workshop. It's lawyer workshop. So any lie he tell you to go and pay to get his money is his workshop. He will tell you, go, I have these technical ways. I have this opportunity to win it for you when he knows he's not going to win it already. Because sometimes they are 3-4 in the chamber. They know already, they don't know where in this case. They will still sit you down. They will still show you some technical point that will not encourage you as a politician now.
So bring that money to go to court.
Yeah, because you now see where the lawyer should pay. I could really get this man down through these technical points. The money is there. Let's try it. Is it not what we're looking for?
All right. Well,
why some succeed?
Why some?
Why some cry home?
Okay.
So the lawyer too sometimes when they advise you with technicality does not mean sometimes it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Sometimes they succeed in the technicality. That's why you see some case of taunt. While some case they will give you a hammer on your head.
All right, you've been listening to Samuel Amigato, 35, speaking on the reason why Nigerians tend to hope on the judiciary in declaration of election. His opinions and views that are completely his, they have nothing to do with ITV, but he gave strong reasons, he gave strong points why this is happening. At the end, he talked about technology being the answer.